All right, folks, welcome to episode 3 of Average is Failure. Um, just a little context for those who may be wondering what I'm doing here, what I'm working on. But really, the goal here is, and I'm playing around with different um, subtitles for the name of the show. But what I have currently is we're helping you to dodge potholes, dodge pitfalls, and look, I forgot already. Dodge pitfalls and gain clarity. All right, dodge pitfalls and gain clarity. Um, and ultimately, and this is maybe adjacent to what I'm trying to do is trying to see what it would be for to develop a school, so to speak, right? An online school where we can learn the things that we should have learned in school but never did, right? Because and understandably so, it would be difficult for schools to maybe teach some of this stuff outright, but maybe we can take up that challenge upon ourselves, right? So my goal is that this would be sort of like a place that individuals can come and get some type of in-depth knowledge, not just from me. And truthfully, probably shouldn't just be from me because I'm not the originator of much of what I'm going to be talking about in all of these videos. And so my goal is that eventually we can have individuals on who can who maybe have done certain types of research, who understand things at a high level and can simplify it for us, so that we can incorporate it into our lives, and again so that we can dodge I want y'all to dodge potholes, but so that specifically we can dodge pitfalls and gain clarity, all right, for our lives. I had other things that I wanted to throw in there, right? I want to also talk about like so that we can declutter our lives, right? But you can't if you throw everything into it, it no longer becomes a subtitle. It becomes just like an everything title. So in order to keep it short, the goal is to dodge pitfalls and to gain clarity. Simple as that. Because I think that decluttering it, like, to gain clarity, you kind of have to declutter anyway, right? So it kind of goes without saying. Anyway, talked a little bit about that. What I really wanted to get at in this episode is really discussing and talking about keeping our well, keeping our eyes on God, right? I'll say it that way. I'll kind of let the cat out of the bag. So the other day, and this came to mind as I was myself and my daughter, my youngest daughter, we were out in the street walking, and she likes for me to kind of walk her inside. We have a wagon that we have in the garage, and she likes to be walked around in that wagon. But now that she's starting to get older, right, she wants to be the one dragging the wagon. There won't be anything in it, right? But she just wants to walk around, dragging the wagon around the neighborhood. And so one of the things that we did the other day, I let her do it, and we were walking on the sidewalks. But sometimes she wanted to go into the street, and it's not, our streets aren't busy, so it's the traffic is mild enough to where she can walk for long periods of time in the street without really having to worry about whether a car is going to interrupt her pattern or not, right? But of course, I'm not just letting my young child walk in the street. So I was in the street with her. And one of the things, though, for her is she's still at the age where she doesn't realize that if you're not looking where you're going, you're going to just be walking. Like sometimes she's looking at the wagon instead of where she wants to take the wagon, right? That's one of y'all could take that and turn that into a sermon, right? So she's looking at the actual wagon instead of looking at where she wants the wagon to go. And then even sometimes when she's not looking at the wagon, she might be walking, but let's say something, a bird or another animal or a person walking or construction might catch her attention. And what she begins to do is she starts looking to the left and to the right. And as she does that, she doesn't realize it, but her body is following what she's looking at, right? And and so one of the things that I constantly would tell her is, hey, look at daddy. Constantly keep your eyes on daddy. And if and I literally would be standing in the street, I would be several paces in front of her, and I just say, hey, come follow me, follow me, right? Where if you just look at me, then you will safely get to where it is that you safely get to the destination that you're trying to get to. And so one of the things that, as I was saying those things to her, it literally popped in my mind that literally that is what, God asks of us. Simply that we would, if nothing else, sometimes we're looking to the right, we're looking to the left, and for good reason, right? For good reason, because there might be something interesting and worthwhile to the left or to the right. But sometimes those things can also be distractions to what our destination is. And if we would just keep our eyes on Jesus Christ, we would get to that destination that he has for us, right? And again, what he has for us. And the destination may not look exactly like someone else's destination, but it is the destination that is for us. And literally, this is important because there were so many times that my daughter was about to walk into a lamppost or fall off of the sidewalk because she didn't realize the sidewalk was coming up, right? Or walking into something else, or walk into potential danger zone, right? And it's all because it's again, her motivation wasn't wrong. There was nothing wrong with her motivation. Again, the challenge is that she wasn't aware of how dangerous the pitfalls and the potholes were around her, right? She's too young to even be aware of some of those things. And I think sometimes even for us, we try to do things in our own wisdom, and we think that we have it all figured out. And we don't think that we need to rely on the Lord for his guidance, right? Trust in the Lord with all of thine heart, and lean not to thine own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path, right? And we could go, down the route of, I'm not a great memorizer of scriptural knowledge, even though I love the scripture, I love the text. I kind of have a general outline of the story and bunch of a text in mind, but I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, I can quote you from John chapter such and such, whatever, right? That's just not kind of how my mind tends to work. But generally, like, the general concepts that come to mind, usually are what land, or usually what I'm able to regurgitate fairly well. And so there are tons of other scriptures that we could point to that all talk about, hey, it's not for you to muscle your way through. It's not for you to try to do this alone. It's about keeping your eyes on the Father, keeping your eyes on Christ, keeping your eyes on the Spirit, keeping your eyes on Yahweh and what He is doing, and where He is directing you, so that you reach the destination, or destinations plural, that He has for you along your life's journey. And so hopefully this channel can be one way of helping you to do that and encourage you on your way. If any of you wants to maybe have a discussion, or you have any questions, or just kind of want to dialogue back and forth about some of these things, whether it be character development, whether it be spiritual development, leadership development, whether or not you feel like you're stuck in a particular area. I am working on developing coaching for some very specific people. But not everybody necessarily needs coaching. Sometimes somebody just needs just one question answered, something that maybe could take 5 minutes if somebody just says something or asks something in the right way. So don't be afraid. Find me on Instagram if you would like to connect. At Word is Vaughn. Word is Vaughn. That is my name on Instagram. That's my name on TikTok too, if anybody wants to jump on there. But yeah, reach out to me if I can be helpful, right? Don't feel like you need to reach out to me. You do not need to be connected to me. Hopefully these videos are enough to help you with the direction that you have been called to head in. And I will leave it at that. See y'all on the next video. As always, average is failure. You already know what it is.